This is Moreno Valley updates for April 27th to May 3rd. This is Steve.
This is Danny.
And this is Tyler.
For our driver of the week, I'm going with Kevin Owens. It's in Las Vegas, been doing relay. I haven't heard much out of Kevin for a while. He's got a good Smart Drive score. For our new hires, we have a guy that will be starting, I believe, on Tuesday. His name is Michael Brooks in Albuquerque. So if you see him around, say hello to him. That would just be basically Anthony, Ronnie, David. I'm forgetting the rest. Andy. All right. We have a special guest to read off the birthdays.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tyron right here at the Moreno Valley, DC. So we have an upcoming birthday of Josh Gardner on May 3rd. I'm not sure where he's at.
Josh is in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He just had his anniversary, wasn't it, last week? He's like 3 years.
Oh,
Like 3 years. Now for the anniversaries. Oh, this will be interesting.
Okay, for the anniversaries, we have Brian, what does that say? Thomas for April 27th, 27 years. Dang, 27 years.
7 years.
That's older than me. Dang, that's amazing. Okay, and then next we have Oliver Lunapat, April 27th as well, 4 years. We have John Jones, April 28th, 10 years. Leo Gonzalez, May 1st, 7 years. And Delvin Harrington, May 3rd, 19 years.
You know Delvin, right?
I never met him.
He's a PM driver.
You haven't met Delvin?
Nah, I haven't met many drivers.
Just a...
Okay, I seen him then.
But yeah, you got to ask if you've seen the speaker guy. That's how everybody knows Delvin.
Yeah, he brings that big, huge speaker. And if you start talking to him, he will just keep talking.
Does he wear the LA hat all the time?
Does he wear the LA hat?
Delvin's like the nicest guy on earth. He can talk to anybody.
He will just, if you stand there and talk, he would just keep talking. He'll miss his gate time and everything.
If we're talking about the same guy, I think I know who you're talking about.
Let's go to the weather for Los Angeles this upcoming week. Looks like 50s at night and in the 70s, low 70s during the day. A little bit of chance of rain towards the end of the week. Las Vegas. I'm going to have to go to Las Vegas this week. I mean, next week. Into next week, I'm going to have to go to Las Vegas. Getting warm up there. It is going to be 80s, hitting 90s by the end of the week. So it's partly cloudy, but yeah, it's going to be hot. In Phoenix, 90s. So going to be hot and sunny, yes. So there it is. Summer's here in Phoenix, definitely. Salt Lake City, definitely above freezing. What do we got? 40s, 50s at night, in the 60s, 70s. A little bit warmer towards the end of the week. There's 78, 77 towards the end of the week, but should be, we're looking at the rain here. I mean, there's a chance of rain all week. In Albuquerque, let's see. Sunday's going to be a little windy. Looks like above freezing, around 50-ish and in the 70s during the day. Yeah, I was in Albuquerque beginning of this week.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pleasant. Met with did orientation there for Michael Brooks. Let's see, injuries, none.
Injuries, none. Accidents, we only had that one minor accident. That was just the driver blew a tire and some of the debris from the tire hit the cars behind him. So wasn't too much to go over with that one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not much you can do about tire blows.
And then for Smart Drive, we actually had a pretty good week on Smart Drive this week. So hopefully a good score bounce back from last week. The only two events I would say for this week that were kind of big, and they're kind of more random ones, was exceeding the maximum fleet speed. For those that don't know, that's the highest pointed event you can get in Smart Drive is once you go over 64 and you get the excessive speeding violations. It's the highest pointed one in there. So we usually you don't get too many of them, but then this week we had quite a few. We had almost 3 or 4 in one day, so it kind of kills the score with those ones. But just remember, the overall fleet the fleet speed is 64 miles an hour. So anytime you start going above 64, the camera can pick you up on just an acceleration trigger. You don't have to really do anything. The second you go above the 64, it will likely flag as a speeding event. So you got to always stay under 64, even if you're in other states. That applies to everywhere across the nation, not just California. Then the other event was kind of a random one. It was passenger seatbelts. So just a reminder, when you guys are paired up with one another, if you're the passenger, make sure you're wearing your seatbelt properly and at all times. Just because you're in the passenger seat doesn't mean the camera doesn't pick up those events. It'll pick up whether the driver or the passenger is wearing their seatbelt properly, and it still comes with points as well. So, and obviously I just transfer those points to whoever the passenger was, so it's not the driver taking on the points.
Getting points when you're not even driving. That's definitely easily preventable.
Yep. But that was it for the Smart Drive for this week. Overall, wasn't actually a bad week. It was just kind of some random events in there.
All right. That heat-related illness training is in Luma. I mentioned that last week. I want to get in there and get it done. I'll get the little report emailed to me on Sunday. So that means Monday I'll have to start emailing people who haven't finished it. Did you do yours?
That'll be me.
You haven't done yours yet?
I'm gonna be on the list. Nah, I'll get it done today. I keep getting it and I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah. I get the same thing with the cyber training email, and then I get the reminders start coming in fast and furious.
Right.
Still, it's probably people that got graduations coming up still. I got some on the calendar, but if you got something, you want to get it in. Something Walgreens wants me to bring up, and that's about the water that's in the driver's room. Okay, one, if you're a relay driver, you got to remember to take some water for the pedal drivers. So the thing to bring up is that the water is for the pedal drivers because they're out there doing the physical labor part of the job. So, and that's part of Walgreens Steel. The water is not for drivers to take home. So, it's just for pedal drivers. So, Walgreens pays for that water, and we don't want them to start taking drastic measures of how they hand it out. So, just keep in mind, you shouldn't be taking any water home, and it's for pedal drivers. So, it's kind of all I have for this week.
Me too.
Yeah. Got anything, Tyler?
Actually, I had one quick thing. Just a reminder for the lock and seals for everybody. I know I told a bunch of people during on-sites, but for those I haven't told, make sure you're doing the lock and seal between every single store. That was one thing that Walgreens went over a couple weeks ago, that they're going to start doing more mobile AP audits, making sure guys are locking the trailers, sealing the trailers, and waiting for the stores to come out. We actually had one of my on-sites this week on Tuesday. AP actually did show up on the driver. So just a reminder, especially for the guys that use swing doors, make sure you're waiting for the store to actually open the door and come out before you break the seal and open your doors.
That reminds me, I did have one more thing. So the totes that can go, the interstore transfer totes, it was 2 was like the max that a store could send. They've upped that to 4. So the stores can send as many as 4 of those interstore transfer totes. So 4. Yeah. I guess they're getting some results with that. So I don't know. All right. That's all I have.